Hi folks, John here. Look, there's gonna be a Smash Bros. Direct tomorrow, and you know as well as I do that it is going to be a very exciting time. For all of us, but especially for me because I'm the Smash Bros. Idiot. Look, I'm just gonna do this quick recording real quick. I'm not gonna put too much effort into it because all this stuff is gonna get thrown out the window tomorrow. So, you know, we're just gonna have some fun. You're gonna listen to what I have to think. And if you have any differing opinions, feel free to send them my way. Because, hey, that's the fun part about Smash Bros. Predictions, is that we all have a bunch of different predictions, and I love talking about it. This is honestly the thing that makes me most excited about Smash Bros. Is talking about predictions with people. I love it so much. I love throwing ideas out there. I love being like, nah, that's not gonna happen. Oh shit, yeah, maybe that'll happen. I love talking about that. So, why don't we get started then? I'll just start off with the characters. I think that's a good way to start. My guess is they're going to show off 3 characters. Basically the same thing as they did in the E3 prediction. No, the E3 show. They showed off. I mean, they had already announced the Inklings previously, but they actually showed the Inklings, so I think they'll do 3. I think they will show Isabelle as the Echo Fighter. I'm gonna kind of just agree with Vergaben still here. I think his Smash Bros. Stuff still has some truth to it. I'm not ready to write him off yet. His showing at EVO was a little rough, but I don't have a reason to not believe his Smash Bros. Leaks yet. So I'm gonna say Isabelle will be the Echo Fighter they show. I would not be surprised about Isabelle being in. All that stuff sounds pretty true. There's been a lot of hints that she'll be playable in Echo Villager. I don't see that being false. I'm also going to agree with Vergaben once again and say that they'll probably show the Generation 7 Pokemon. Now, I have narrowed it down to 3 Pokemon, because he has said it is not Mimikyu, it is not Lycanroc, and it is not Decidueye. So, I have 3 choices that I think it will be. I think Incineroar is the very obvious pick, and that is probably what it's going to be. Incineroar is a really easy choice, but I think Incineroar would be pretty fun, so I'm not opposed to it. I think a sort of black sheep, like out of nowhere pick would be Marshadow. I think it would be pretty interesting to have another like legendary Pokemon on the roster. And Marshadow would be pretty interesting as a fighting and ghost type. That would be pretty cool. My last pick would have to be Alolan Meowth. Now, normal Cantonian Meowth is already a Pokeball Pokemon. I've seen footage of Cantonian Meowth. But Alolan Meowth would be a completely separate thing. And there has been a lot of talk of Meowth being in Pokemon for a long time, or in Smash Bros. For a long time. And Alolan Meowth has had a small role, will have a continued role in the anime. So I can see that being, oh yeah, Alolan Meowth, we're gonna have some representation of the anime again, like Jigglypuff. So we'll see how that goes. I would, if I were a betting man, I would put my money on Incineroar, but Marshadow and Alolan Meowth would be good choices as well. And then for the last character, I'm guessing, I'm not just going to completely align myself with Vergaben. I think Simon Belmont would be something that they show at a later date, or maybe that would even be something that they don't show until after the game is out. That, like a big third-party character like that, maybe would be something that they'd want to show later. So I'm going to guess Ashley. I think Ashley is a really, really easy pick for Smash. Her Assist Trophy hasn't shown up, and she's also just incredibly popular in Japan especially, but in America too. I would not be surprised if Ashley showed up, and I would actually be really happy. I've been wanting WarioWare representation since Brawl. I like, seeing Wario show up in his WarioWare outfit really wanted me, or really made me want another WarioWare character, and Ashley would be the best fit. You know, maybe Orbulon or Dr. Krygor or Penny Krygor might be okay too, but Ashley would be really fun. I would just love another mage type character to go up against Robin. But Ashley would be my pick for the third character. So for stages, I think that they are going to kind of focus on showing off what they've already kind of announced. They need to show that New Donk City stage. I'm gonna guess that there's not gonna be too many more stages. Just looking at the missing stage list from Ultimate that we haven't seen, I think that I'll just kind of go through these. I'm gonna agree with the general sentiment that like stages that have some sort of representation or would be redundant in some way are going to not show up. I'm guessing that's probably going to be what kind of makes these stages appear or not. So something like Peach's Castle from N64, probably not, because that's basically a shitty representation of Peach's Castle, and they're just gonna want the Melee version. Congo Jungle 64, maybe. I mean, I think Jungle Japes is already in there, so who knows how that'll go. But I mean, both Jungle Japes and Congo Jungle 64 are in Melee, so who knows. But Planet Zebes and Sector Z, pretty redundant. Mushroom Kingdom 64, pretty redundant. A lot of these I don't think are gonna show up. I'll just say what I do think will show up. I can see them putting like classic versions of Final Destination or just like reskins of Final Destination in there. I would be really shocked if they didn't, because they're trying to position this as the ultimate version of the game, and it would just be really cool to see Melee Final Destination and all these other versions of like Battlefield and Final Destination in this game. Like, look, I'm not a huge Melee fan, but I love Melee Final Destination. I love what that stage looks like, and I would love to see that again. Brawl Final Destination has an incredible design as well, but except for the fucking edges, but maybe that won't be as much of a problem with the like edge magnetism that Smash Ultimate has. I could see... I really hope Poke Floats comes back, just because that would be really stupid. My big hope is that they do a Poke Floats 2, because that would be very funny. I want Poke Floats 2 really bad. All the Brawl stages that aren't in are basically shitty, so I don't want pretty much any of them. Like Mario Bros, Rumble Falls, Han and Bao, fuck all that. The Pirate Ship would be fine though. Let's see here. From the Wii U, I could see Woolly World coming back, especially with that new Yoshi game coming out. Gamer and Windy Hill, probably, unless there's going to be a... You know, I would say maybe Gamer doesn't come back if Ashley is playable, because then Ashley could just have her own stage, like her Haunted Mansion. Even though that might be really similar to Luigi's Mansion. But at the same time, you know, maybe just a Diamond City stage. You know, because WarioWare Gold just came out, I could see some sort of Diamond City just traveling around, maybe, you know, riding on Dribble and Spitz's taxi or Orbulon's ship or something like that. I could see that. I'd be really happy with that, actually. Some sort of big WarioWare representation. I'd really like that. I think Pyrosphere is not coming back because Ridley is, you know, playable unless they make some sort of thing where they're like, oh, this isn't the Ridley you're playing as, this is other M Ridley. Fuck that Ridley, which I would kind of be there for, but I can see them just making a new Metroid stage. They already have Frigate Orpheon. I think they have like Brinstar and all that stuff. Oh, okay, they haven't confirmed Brinstar Depths, so thank God. But I can see them just announcing a new Metroid stage, maybe just some kind of like space pirate thing, or maybe they'll have like Ridley's lair. I don't know, but I could just see them having some sort of new Metroid stage to leave behind Ridley as a boss character. And then the 3DS, I hope that Muse City stage comes back. That Muse City stage is really cool. The 3DS one, the one that was just the like 16-bit, you're riding around on the cars. Same with Dreamland. Dreamland's really fucking cool. You're playing in the Game Boy. But I would also be okay if they just added a more like classic stages like that. I read that the Dreamland stage was originally going to be a Mario Land stage, and I would be okay with that, especially if they were like making references to that old weird Mario Land. Like make Titania a boss character. Bring fucking Titania back. That'd be really good. And then like Flat Zone and PictoChat. It's just gonna be Flat Zone X, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like a PictoChat X or something like that. That would be basically be my predictions for that one. So assist trophies. I just kind of listed some assist trophies that I expect to see. There's probably gonna be a lot of third-party stuff. I mean, I just kind of listed like third-party characters that I expected. There was that talk of the Minecraft thing that Vergaben said. Minecraft Steve's an assist trophy would be too surprising. I bet he'd probably just like run around swinging the sword or setting up TNT or something like that. I don't know too much about Minecraft, but yeah, I can see something like that. Maybe he just like surrounds an enemy with blocks and you have to break yourself out. I think they'll bring Gray Fox back for Snake, or maybe they'll make a new assist trophy because I think Gray Fox's voice actor passed away. Yeah, his voice actor passed away. So I could see them making some other assist trophy. Maybe Raiden? Raiden might be cool if like Robo Raiden. That would be really sick. I'm not going to talk about music because that's such an all-encompassing thing, and there's no way I could go on for hours and hours, but I will just say the thought of Revengeance music in Smash Bros. Is maybe the best thing ever. Like, oh my god, please put Rules of Nature in Smash. Please, 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 please. I'm trying to think of like what another Metal Gear like assist trophy would be, because I mean, I would, if I were to guess, if it wasn't just Shadow Moses again, I would say maybe Geckos would be pretty okay, or maybe just Dwarf Geckos. Dwarf Geckos would be an alright assist trophy, like they could just run around, like slapping you around. I could see Dwarf Geckos as an assist trophy. But like other human characters, I don't know, I mean, like, Quiet, maybe? I mean, I know that she's, like, in a bikini, but, you know, like, Samus was in a bikini in Smash 4, Zero's Samus. That's not that crazy, I don't think. Quiet might not be a bad one. She just shows up and snipes someone, maybe, like, puts them in a crumple state. I could see that. I don't know, I can't really think of anything else, like, maybe, like, Liquid or something. Like Ocelot just running around. I don't know. I put down Jack Frost as an assist trophy. I could see just like as a Sega like Atlas rep, I could see Jack Frost showing up as an assist. I would love Jack Frost to be playable, but I could see him as an assist trophy of some sort. I would not be too surprised if there was SMT representation in Smash Bros. Sega pushes SMT a whole lot. I don't think it'll be a Persona thing. I saw a video yesterday of some guy saying, "Oh man, like Joker has a good shot of being playable in Smash," and like, no. There's gonna be SMT reps. It will just be straight up SMT. It won't be Persona. They'll just put Jack Frost in because he's the mascot, and that'll be it. I wrote down Cranky Kong and Ravio just as other assist trophies from like Nintendo that I could see. I think Cranky Kong would just like bounce around. Ravio would just like summon some items. I can see that. Like some item summoning, especially if Isabel's gonna be playable, because Isabel like fed you, and I could see Ravio just kind of being like a kind of replacement for Isabel, except more weaponry instead of healing. As for other third parties, I put down Blanca as an assist trophy for Street Fighter. I could definitely see that because I think like him just like rolling around with the electricity would be really easy, and also I bet Ono would really want to see Blanca in Smash Bros. That's an easy pick. And then I do think that there would be some kind of Final Fantasy VII party member as an assist trophy. I don't know too much about Final Fantasy VII to say who it would be. I would think maybe Tifa just running around punching people. Maybe Eris could do healing. I could see maybe like Red 13. Kate Sith. I don't know that much about Final Fantasy VII, but I do think that there will be some kind of Final Fantasy VII party member. Or, I mean, it would be really crazy if they wanted to do more Final Fantasy representation. Maybe just put like a Black Mage in. So like someone from another Final Fantasy game as an assist trophy. That would be really cool. I would love to see that. So, modes. I agree with the general consensus that some sort of adventure mode is coming back. And I agree that that will be how you unlock people. I think there was a leak that said that the adventure mode would basically be the Great Maze from Brawl, except without all the other subspace stuff in front of it. So you're just going around a bunch of like themed environments and collecting characters, like fighting them and adding them to your roster. I could definitely see that because that would be the streamlined way of getting those characters. That would be pretty quick and fun, and you know, like the reason why the Great Maze sucked was because you were playing through all the stuff that you already played through in Subspace. If you cut off all the fluff and it was just like, oh hey, here's all these places that you could just run through, battle, I think that would be pretty fun. Just like a combination of Melee and Brawl's adventure mode would be really fun, and I think that would probably be the way that you unlock all the characters. I also think because they're positioning this as the ultimate Smash Bros. Game, I think they're going to put a lot of focus on all of the different like modes in there. Of course, Classic will be back, but I think they'll do like break the targets, board the platforms, race to the finish. All that stuff will be in there, I think. Like Smash Run, Smash Tour, I think that'll all be there. But I think the question that everyone is asking is, oh, are they going to have unique target tests, or is it going to be like all the old games, where it's just... Or is it going to be like Melee, or is it going to be like Brawl, where they just have like a handful of them? And I will be honest, I think it's going to be like Brawl. I think they're just going to have a handful of target tests. I would love to be proven wrong. I really would. But this game is already crazy enough as it is, and I don't know. I don't expect them to do that much. That would be crazy. There's like 70-something characters. Like I said, I would love to be wrong, but I just don't see it. I don't see that happening. I don't know. I mean, that's basically my predictions there. I think that'll be what they talk about. I think they'll maybe talk about some costumes. I think there will be more costumes in this game. Because, like, I mean, Mario has 2 already. He's got the Builder and the wedding outfit. Ridley has Metal Ridley. I could definitely see more costumes. And maybe some characters kind of hidden in a way as that. Instead of being Echo Fighters, maybe just like, oh, hey, here's Zelda in a Hilda outfit, and she's Hilda now. They say Hilda when you win, just like how Olimar and Alf are. I could see something like that. I wouldn't hold my breath though, because again, if they are focusing that much on Echo Fighters, maybe they'll just give. If they're gonna have Hilda in there, they'd rather give Hilda her own slot, especially because she would be like, you know, maybe using dark magic instead of what Zelda uses. Hell, maybe they're... No, wait, no. They already confirmed they're not giving Alf his own slot. I was going to say, oh, maybe they count Alf as an Echo Fighter this time, but nah. I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I was asked to talk a little bit about the competitive scene. I do want to say that I hope Ultimate becomes the reigning competitive game. I think it deserves it. From what I've played of Ultimate, it feels really amazing. It feels like Smash 4, but faster. And that is... like perfect. You know, people aren't gonna move on. People are gonna keep playing Melee because those Melee guys aren't gonna be immediately good at Ultimate, so they're not gonna want to move on. So, you know, that's what I expect. I don't know. I am really looking forward to this, though. I am really looking forward to seeing what they have to offer. I could be completely wrong. I bet everything I said is going to be completely false, because that's how it usually goes. But it's fun to speculate, and I hope that this makes you excited. I hope that if you want to talk more about Smash, I am always open to talk about Smash Bros. So feel free to hit me up on Twitter, Tumblr, Discord, whatever. I'm open. So if, you know, tell me what you think will be shown at the Direct tomorrow. And I'll talk about Smash Bros. Again in the future. Don't you worry about that. So long.